Okay, g'day everyone. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how we can use Adobe Premiere Pro to consolidate all of our items that we've been creating for our multimedia show reel. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is open Premiere Pro and we'll get our document set up. And I'll show you how we can bring in our business card, our logo, our animated text, and we might even make something in Photoshop as lower third titles to bring in as well. So when Premiere Pro opens, just click on New Project. Now it's important from now on that you save everything into the one folder. So all your showreel items should be in the one single folder. Otherwise, things can get lost and you can lose links. Look, you click on location to browse where you want to save your project to. You should have a folder set up. I'm not going to do that because I'm in too much of a hurry. So once you've done that, you click OK. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to go to File, New, and we want to create a new sequence. Because we're not working with a video clip, we're going to create the new sequence manually. Now choose this preset here. If you go into AVCHD, 1080p, and choose this one with 25 frames per second, that will match, you'll see in the frame size, 1920 by 1080, that will match the sequence that or composition, sorry, that we created in After Effects. So once you're happy with that, press Enter. Wait a minute. Oh, double click it. And then we've got our new sequence. If I click my project, you can see this icon is our whole sequence. That's what Premiere Pro calls a project. Okay, so we want to start importing things into our project folder here. So if you double click in here, let's go and find, my stuff's all over the place, but yours will all be in the one spot. Okay, so do as I say, not as I do, as they say. So I'm just going to bring in my graphic design logo and click import. And you can see the file comes in just here. Now, if I want it to go into my timeline, I'm going to click, hold, and drag and drop it in here. And if I move the playhead, there it is there. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, so make sure that your timeline is selected, and you can see that by the blue bounding box, and just hit the plus key, plus and minus, without command this time. Plus and minus will zoom in and out of your timeline, and make sure your timeline's on it. Select the clip, and notice how mine's off the screen. It's too big, so with the clip selected, up here you can go into Effect Controls, and here I can lower the scale. Okay, now you'll also notice, same as in After Effects, we have options to animate some of these, to animate these effects or these values, position, scale, and all that. But we won't do that this lesson. Look, if I want to move the position, I could use these here, or an easier way I find is if I just double click here, and then I can manually move it to wherever I want onto my timeline. All right, now at the moment it's at the 45-second mark, so I'm going to drag it right back to the start about here, and if I hit play, there it is. Now when the clip gets to the end, it disappears. If I want this to stay on the clip in the video for longer, I'll just click, hold, and drag it out, and that'll make it go for a longer period of time. Let's go back into here. Let's go back, double click in here. Let's go to import. I guess I could get my business card. I won't get my business card in. I might just bring in, actually I'll cancel that. Let's bring in our animated text that we created. So the way to do that is if you go to File, and let's go to Adobe Dynamic Link, and it's got Import After Effects Composition. Click that, find where your After Effects composition is saved to. Kinetic text, mine's here. So I'm going to click that. And by importing it like this, you can actually open After Effects, continue to work on your animation or your project, and it would automatically update in Premiere Pro. So the two programs kind of operate as one then, which is really neat. So if I click OK, that hasn't even been exported in After Effects. I'm just bringing it straight in as a composition. Okay, so there it is there, and I'm going to click and drag and bring it in, and you can notice it's brought it in with the audio as well. Now I've got my headphones plugged in, so you probably won't hear the audio, but this is my animated text
tutorial.
Okay, so there it is there. So I've got my logo in there, and I've got this in there. Now I'm not going to drag it out further because I don't need to. It's this time that I want. So that's good. Now what I want to do is I might just quickly show you how you can go into use Photoshop as well to create a lower third title, because I want you to create lower third titles for all your multimedia showreel elements and put them into Premiere Pro. So in Photoshop, once it's open, you go to File, New, and let's choose the film and video preset. That will give us the correct size, which matches our Premiere Pro and After Effects footage. Background contents, let's go to transparent because we don't want any background. And let's click Create. And now what we'll do is we'll grab the rectangle tool. Let's just drag out, we're going to create a lower third title. Let's just drag out a box like that, and you can muck around with a stroke and fill. I might just make mine yellow. It's going to look really ugly, but I'm in a hurry, so I'm going to just leave it at that. And now these options here are quite neat. If I change, I can round the corners. I could go 10. If I press enter, all right, it's going to round all of those corners. You can't really see it, but if I went to 100, you probably could. Yep. Okay, let's just go back to 0. Now notice it's changing all of them. It's because this option's linked. If I unlink that and I go here, 50, oh, you probably won't see that, but it's only going to do that corner in the top right. So let's go back in there. If you don't see this panel, go into Window and just go to Properties and it should come up. Now it's unlinked, and what can be quite neat is if I do this again, and now I've got this kind of neat looking rectangle here. Okay, I could even lower the opacity of it to make it see-through because that kind of gives it a nice kind of effect like that. Now text, let's draw out a text box like this. You'll notice it'll come up on its own layer. Adjust the size and everything up here. You can also have more options in your paragraph character panel there. Again, if you don't see it, go to Window, go to Character, and it'll pop up for you. So let's just call this one Logo, and let's just leave it there. It's going to go down there. I don't need to put it down there just yet. I'll show you why in a minute. Click on a new layer. No, let's not click on a new layer. Let's just select the logo layer, right click it, and let's duplicate the layer. Just click OK. Now we've got 2 of them. Let's move it out of the way. Go back to your text tool and highlight it. Let's just change it to business card. Let's get the move tool and move it. Well, I didn't want to drag that out, but that's okay. That's not going to matter. I drag the guide out there, but it's no big deal. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Now let's save this. So Command S. I'm going to save it into the same folder that I've got my Premiere Pro composition in, but I'm not because I don't have one, but you will. Lower third, I'm just going to call it. All right, and let's just save it as a Photoshop document, because we can bring this Photoshop document into Premiere Pro with the frames, the layers intact, sorry. So if I double click to import in this box here, and I go to where I saved it, Adobe Photoshop, what did I call it, lower third I think, there it is there, click import. Now what's going to happen is you've got an option here, merge all layers. I don't want that. We want to import individual layers, and you can see it'll bring in all these layers here. Click OK. And now it comes in its little folder, which is handy. If I open that, I've got my rectangle, and I can drag this rectangle out, and I might just pop it on top of this layer here where my pen's going. And you can see there it is there. Now I want that lower third to run the same time as my logo, so I'm going to stretch that out like that, and there it's on like that. So that's good. Now logo, I want the text that I created in Photoshop. Now you can get as fancy creative as you want with your text. Now I want to put that on top. Can't see it at the moment because it's black on black. And I've run out of video layers here, so if I right click, go to add track, it's going to add an extra video layer for me there. I'm going to drag the audio layers down so I can see that a bit better. And what I'll do is I'll bring this on top, and there it is there. And again, as I scroll through, it disappears, so I want it to stay on there the whole time. I can snap it, click and drag to the edge there. So now you can see I've got the lower third title, which introduces the design, the logo that I created. I think that will do for now. So what you want to do is you want to start compiling all of your multimedia showreel elements into Premiere Pro, and that's how you're going to create like a slideshow type showreel thing for your for all the work you've done over the past few weeks. All right. I hope that wasn't too long, but now's the time for you to start compiling things. So get as creative as you want and see how you go.